Alright folks, we're back. Before we start case 35, I want to make a mention that I did get all the stars for case 33, but unfortunately, my desktop seems to have erased the videos that I had taken for this case, The Sweet Escape, and I was only able to save the first chapter. So, it's unfortunate, so I'm going to have to do this case in Elite mode, and I'll try to do that as soon as I can. For now, I'm going to continue on. Thanks to Avelino, Ali, and Nini for the reports. 6 feet down under. Matthew, as you know, we received a tip from X telling us that if we wanted to see a somber test subject in action, we needed to come to Sydney. We've also learned Sombra's been shipping these test subjects around the world. Unfortunately, we don't know why, nor do we have the resources to track them all down. Their scheme is getting bigger, and we've got to figure out what it is before it becomes too big to stop. The annual Australia Shines Gala is being held at the Sydney Opera House this evening. Some of the most influential people in the world will be there. With such a high-profile turnout, you can be certain Sombra and their test subjects will be watching closely. Matthew, you and Carmen will be attending the gala tonight to pick up any intel on Sombra's whereabouts. Guess that means they're going to have to change. I'll meet you at the Opera House, Matthew. Alright, Matthew, let's hope this doesn't take long. I don't want to be in this dress longer than I have to. We're here to keep an eye open for any possible Sombra action. Stay alert and... Help! Help! I need help, please! Ma'am, we're the police. Have you been hurt? We've been shot. My boss, he's dead. Where is he? He's over there, near the Opera House. So I apologize again for only one video being posted for... Well, there's the victim's body. I apologize once again for only one of my case 33 videos making it to the tube. Nobody's done this case yet. Cool. Oh, dang, Matthew. That's not just any dead guy. That's Rufus Murlock, the media mogul. This is horrible. My boss is dead. Ma'am, you need medical attention. You should wait for the paramedics to clean you up while Ranger Matthew and I survey the crime scene. We'll come talk to you shortly. Rufus was shot up pretty good. Someone must have really wanted him dead, which means you got ourselves one heck of a homicide. Let's see what we have here. Looking through trash isn't my favorite thing, but knowing how the criminal mind works, it's bound to give us something. Let's dig through it. That looks like a dirty bar napkin, Matthew. It probably belongs in that trash bag you grabbed. There's a message on it? What goes around comes around, mate. That sounds like a threat to me. Let's vacuum up a sample of that orange dirt to see what it can give us. Matthew, bad news travels fast. We need to catch this killer before the Bureau's name hits the front page of every paper in town. But before that, I've got to change out of this dress. Let's start the autopsy and I will get some stars, so sit tight, folks. Sorry guys, that tablet just quit on me. Ranger Matthew, I can't believe Rufus is dead. He was alive just a few minutes ago. This can't be happening. It's okay, Miss Salter. You're safe with us. Can you describe exactly what happened? Of course. Rufus got a phone call and wanted to take it privately. He stepped outside from the gala for a moment. I came with him to take notes. All of a sudden I felt a sharp pain in my arm, and then I was knocked over the head with something. When I came to, Rufus was lying there on the ground, motionless. There was blood everywhere. Did you see the person who did this? No, it all happened too fast. 1 minute Rufus was alive, the next he's dead. Miss Salter, I assure you, Ranger Matthew will get to the bottom of this. Until then, please stay close by. We might need to ask you more questions. This is such a hassle that I have to deal with. Finally, stained mask. That mask you pulled from that trash bag looks like the one the victim was wearing when he was killed, and this one's also covered in blood. Well spotted, Matthew. There's something on the back. Maybe a stain. Matthew, this mask could lead us one step closer to our killer. Let's send it to Lars. Three hours. Got it. Red dust. Vacuuming the orange dirt off the bar napkin revealed a logo. Probably the logo of the bar it came from. The logo looks like a drunk boomerang. The logo looks like a drunk boomerang holding a beer. I guess even boomerangs drink in Australia. You're right, Matthew, we need to find this bar, but it'd take too long to find it with just the logo. Let's run the dirt under the microscope to see if it can tell us more about this napkin. Need 79 more before I go up another level. Sandstone. Matthew, the dirt sample from the bar napkin revealed a molecular composition consisting primarily of quartz and feldspar, meaning this dirt is sandstone. And powder-thin sandstone of this reddish-orange hue is a representative of one particular area in Australia, the Outback. And after cross-referencing the logo on the bar napkin in the Outback region, Matthew, we found ourselves a hit, a roadside pub called the Drunken Boomerang. Let's go catch us some leads, Matthew. We're headed to the Outback. Too bad it's not Outback Steakhouse. I've been going there for my birthday for 10 years. Oh, why not? Let's try to go for the first star. At one point I had about 12 hints already. Torn paper. Oh! Colorful guitar. Boy, that was pretty disappointing. I get the first one, no problem, and then after that a wrong click. Matthew, I've always wanted to visit Ayers Rock. Too bad we're doing it for a murder investigation. What'd you find? That pile of torn paper looks like it could be a poster, but I'm not sure what it'd be announcing that could be of interest to us. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's piece it back together. Do you really think it's time to play music? That guitar is nice, but we're in the middle of a murder investigation. Good catch, Matthew. The guitar has something written on the back. But all I can read is our victim's name. I'll get your dusting kit. I'm going to get some stars first, so sit tight, folks. Okay, I have 8 stars. Let's examine the torn paper. Oh, gosh. Matthew, you put together what looks like a poster for a show called The Witch is Dead, and it happens every Saturday here at the Drunken Boomerang. The show stars someone called Chakas Deluxe. I'm guessing that's a stage name. And you're right, the dead witch in this instance seems to be none other than our victim. I'm guessing Chakas wasn't a fan of Rufus, which means we're out to see a showgirl about a poster. In fact, give me a moment, folks. Okay. Chakas Deluxe. We're investigating the murder of Rufus Murlock. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Thank God, Darl. That man was horrid. From the looks of your show poster, we take it you two weren't close. I first met Rufus years ago before he became a big shot. He used to work at this very pub and petrol station when he was an eager Joey. We were friendly. Rufus lives all the way out here? At first, but then he moved to Sydney and started working at the papers. We lost touch as the years went by. When was the last time you contacted Rufus? I moved to Sydney a few years back to start on a big show, the Texas Chainsaw Mascara. I tried to contact him, but never heard a word. Not only did he not respond, Rufus closed my show, closed all the drag shows in town. He started a witch hunt that drove us all out of Sydney. Once again, that's why I did the show. Being a man one day and a Sheila the next isn't an easy thing, especially in this heat. Moment, folks, again. Okay. Oh, man. But I got it. Belligerent message. This is such a frustrating problem. The message on the back of the guitar reads, "This machine kills the fascist Rufus Murlock." And the guitar belongs to someone called Warren Mundine. Sounds like this guy wasn't singing our victim's praises. I agree, we gotta talk to Warren Mundine and hear what kind of tune he's carrying. About his anger towards the victim? Warren Mundine, We found your guitar with what seems like a death threat against Rufus Murlock on it. Care to explain? I won't lie, mate. I didn't care God. I won't lie, mate. I didn't care for the man. No one did. But I resolve my anger through music, not physical violence. The guitar is the vehicle of my voice. Through it, I heal. And what made you so angry at Rufus you felt the need to heal through your guitar? A few months ago, Rufus agreed to send reporters out here to do a piece on Aboriginal culture. The purpose was to help us save our land. But what he printed was a pack of bold-faced lies. The article was full of hate and ignorance that made us all look like savages. We lost our land because of it. So I wish I could say I'm sorry Rufus died, mate, but the truth is, he was a miserable codger. Okay, I'll let these two run their courses. I'll see you for when those are done. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the Gala Mask from Lars. Matthew, I'm so excited to be back home all the way down under. I haven't been back in years. First thing I had to do was pull out my old cork hat. Great, isn't it? No, you should burn that. And then tell us what you found on the mask we sent you, because that's why we're here. I can start by telling you the blood on the mask is from your victim. Forward spatter caused by the gunshots. But if it's not the victim's mask, it means the person wearing this mask must have been within close proximity to the victim when he was shot. Absolutely, and as Matthew pointed out, the red stain on the back of the mask provided some pertinent information. I tested it. It's Shiraz, the dark-skinned Syrah wine grape that's grown in Australia. Knowing the victim had a sulfite allergy and only drank whiskey, my guess is this stain on the bloody mask comes from your killer, which means your killer drinks Shiraz. Matthew, our killer can be Shiraz heck when we don't stop until we've locked him up for murder.
He was a better athlete than their kids, and he was smarter. We just had no excuse to get rid of him.
Well, what excuse did they come up with?
I don't have to tell you anything.
And let's speed up this. G'day, Matthew. It's nice to be back in Australia after so long. I haven't been back here since Lars and I first got married. Yeah, ever since we've arrived, Lars has been more Australian than ever. He tried to make me eat Vegemite this morning. Girl, that stuff is nasty. Funny you say that. Your killer seems to have a similar affinity to brewer's yeast extract. What do you mean? Your victim was shot at close range with a .32 caliber pistol. Out of the 6 bullets that entered his body, 2 still remained lodged inside. I analyzed those 2 bullets and I found traces of brewer's yeast extract, vegetable and spice additives. In other words, Vegemite. So the killer eats Vegemite. Matthew, we're on the hunt for a killer with a salty taste and a thirst for murder. Matthew, we came here looking for possible signs of Sombra, and instead we find ourselves at the murder of one of the biggest media moguls in the world. That's right, Carmen, and if this case isn't solved promptly, the Bureau's name will be dragged through the mud by the press. We can't let that happen. We're on it, Chief. Matthew, let's recap what we've got so far. According to Veronica, Rufus was taking a call outside the Opera House when they were both attacked, leaving Rufus dead and Veronica unconscious, which means no description of our killer. We know Chakas and Rufus crossed paths in the past, but the only thing crossed now is Chakas. But could she have killed them both on stage and off? And although Warren claims he resolves his issues through music, he's pretty vocal about his disdain for the victim. Enough to drive him to physical violence? Matthew, it's obvious our victim has many enemies who'd be happy to see him dead. Now it's a matter of finding which one actually did it. Matthew, someone was caught trespassing on the victim's property. They're being arrested. Turn on the TV. I'm on the scene as the famed deep-sea treasure hunter Bryce LeBeau is being arrested by local authorities for trespassing on the late Rufus Murlock's private property. That man deserved to die. No one says no to LeBeau. Looks like we've got a new suspect.
Bunch of country club kids dissed you, right? Made you feel like you were trespassing on their turf.
See you guys for Chapter 2. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start Chapter 2 of 6 Feet Down Under.
Thanks.
Matthew, we came here on the hunt for somber activity, and instead we find ourselves with the murder of Rufus Murlock, one of the biggest media moguls in the world. That's right, Carmen, and if this case isn't solved promptly, the Bureau's name will be dragged through the mud by the press. We can't let that happen. Matthew, turn on the TV. Bryce LeBeau is being arrested on the victim's property. I'm on the scene as the famed deep-sea treasure hunter Bryce LeBeau is being arrested by local authorities for trespassing on the late Rufus Murlock's private property. The recently murdered Murlock bought this stretch of ocean off the Sydney coast 15 years ago and had banned it from public access since its purchase. This is ridiculous. No one tells Bryce LeBeau where he can hunt for treasures. No one. That man cannot keep me away from that shipwreck, alive or dead. The gruesome shooting of Rufus Murlock is currently under investigation with the cooperation of several international law enforcement agencies. This is Cooper Anderson with Wolf News. Matthew, what would a treasure hunter want from Rufus's property that's worth being arrested for? I smell a lead, Matthew. Let's go see what LeBeau knows. Then we can grab our scuba gear and investigate that shipwreck ourselves. Okay.
And we covered it. October 27th, 2014. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers.
LeBeau, we need to ask you some questions about Rufus Murlock before you're taken into custody. Janael, more police. Everybody wants some LeBeau today. First, light that cigarette and you'll regret it. Second, would you care to explain why you were trespassing on a murdered man's property? Rufus had forbidden me to dive his waters, but now that he's dead, I can do as I want. Right. You said something about a shipwreck on TV. What can you tell us about that? I'd found it while mapping the coast. I tried to get permission to dive it. Murlock refused. Said I had no business snooping in his affairs. No one ever says no to LeBeau. If you ask me, Ranger Matthew, something very fishy is going on here.
Very impressive.
Okay.
Kick to it.
Sir, I can't hear you.
Nice shirt, Craig.
At Jet.com, we always find innovative ways to save. Get 15% off your first order.
Stephen King delivers fear on 4 wheels. Take a ride for your life in Christine, Wednesday at 8. Immediately followed by a new episode of Clever
Okay.
Only at Sundance TV.
Where are the clues?
It's the best thing that's happened.
Locked case. Watch. Oh.
New Hershey's and Reese's snack mix with chocolate, nuts, and pretzels. It's snack justice.
Oh, that wasn't that good, but just learning the ropes, I guess.
Choice Hotels, the more you go, the better. Now get a free $50 gift card for staying just 2 times. So go.
It's a good thing we're both dive certified, Matthew, or we would have missed out on searching the shipwreck on Rufus's property. What'd you find? That dive watch you grabbed is still working. Somebody's been down here recently. There's something engraved on the back of the watch, but it's really faded. A good dozen can give us more info. That case looks pretty new too. No signs of corrosion, and the fact that it's weighted means someone put it down here recently. If you can unlock it, we can see what's stashed inside. Now that pile of broken machinery looks like it's been down here for a while. I'm not sure how helpful it'll be, but you can repair it and see what you get.
And 16 years later, if it would be Watson, that same sweater would have been allowed. Watson covers obviously incriminating evidence found in plain view for those beneath it. In his opinion,
I'm gonna do it now.
Your Honor, what makes this search especially odious is the fact the warrant is predicated on false information.
Weren't the officers told your client threatened a schoolmate with a gun?
It was a lie.
M30,
Subpoena Duke is taken to search the school files.
BR7,
And actually looked at the
FOZ. Good.
It was sent 3 weeks ago by the headmaster to Colin's father. It states that it was
Matthew, there's a gun inside that case you found. How'd that all get the way out? How'd that get all the way out here?
student said he got
Better yet, who put it down here? Someone definitely tried to hide that gun. Too bad for them you found it, Matthew. Let's get this gun to Jonah and ballistics, pronto.
Motion to suppress granted.
They have no other evidence, Your Honor.
You're 2 for 2, Mr. Dwyer. Motion to dismiss granted.
I had no idea Vaughn had been threatened.
12 hours?
My husband never said a word about it. Dad didn't want you to worry.
Why didn't you tell the police?
I was afraid. Afraid of who? Isn't that always? He's afraid of calling you.
Property of Michelle Zaria.
You with the gun. It was another boy.
On the back of the dive watcher, the words, property of Michelle Zaria. Michelle Zaria, that's the name of the lawyer we met in Singapore. There's something suspicious about that woman. First we find out her client in Singapore is Sombra, and now she's here in Australia sniffing around a mysterious shipwreck. Matthew, we need to find out exactly what's going on. Let's talk to Michelle.
He roughed me up a couple of times. Then after I started for master.
And after that, Stuart threatened you with the gun?
Yeah, I was afraid to go back.
About her dive watch?
He and Harrigan have this gang, 5 or 6 boys from the hockey team.
Hello again, Miss Zaria. Why is it when there's a mysterious high-profile murder, you keep popping up?
They think he's so...
Occupational hazard, I suppose. What do you want, Ranger Matthew?
He'll do anything.
We found your dive watch near an unidentified shipwreck on Rufus's private property. We could take you in for trespassing. You could, but you won't, because I wasn't trespassing. Your victim had recently contacted me to do some private legal consulting. He asked me to do a full audit of his assets, including maritime property. Rufus hires you and now he's dead. That's quite the coincidence, wouldn't you say?
After he was expelled.
Hypothesize all you want, Ranger Matthew, but if you got nothing else, I have a glass of Shiraz and a warm bath waiting for me at the hotel.
Stuart, once you leave here, don't you threaten my son. And that includes your father and your school. We'll be able to protect you. Do you understand that? Come on, Stuart. Mr. McCoy is finished with you.
Stuart Barkley's not just any other student, as well as the chairman of the school board of governors.
Not coincidentally, he's also their legal advisor. When we served the school with the subpoena, he's the one who assured us of their full cooperation.
Instead, this is...
Got it.
I'm shocked. This isn't stink robbery.
Matthew, I'm impressed you were able to put that rusty pile of junk back together again. But what is it? Oh yeah, it does say Voyage Data Recorder on it. This records the ship's location, identity, even its destination. Whatever happened to the ship will be on this contraption. We need to get it to Elliot ASAP.
This Harrigan-Barkley relationship, maybe we'll find the smoking gun.
12 hours also.
Mr. McCoy, no one placed themselves above the law.
Alright, I'll get the remaining stars. I'll see you guys later.
Surely you don't suspect.
Alright folks, like I said, I'm under an unlimited energy happy hour, so let's speed up the data recorder right now. I have all the stars. Hey Matthew, I can't believe you managed to restore this data recorder. It's in pretty bad shape. You're a miracle worker, kid. I'm sure you were able to get something from it. Yeah, I was able to get some info, but not much. According to the data log, that ship went down about 30 years ago. I tried cross-referencing the recorder's data with listed wreckages, and I didn't find anything. There's nothing about this wreck anywhere. So a ship goes down off the Australian coast and there's nothing on it? That doesn't sound right. There are also 0 hospital records of any passengers having gone in for emergency treatment after the accident. And without a passenger manifest to check, we can probably assume there weren't any survivors. Matthew LeBeau was right. Something fishy is definitely going on here. Why would Rufus be so interested in the shipwreck that he'd privatize those waters and forbid anyone from going down there? Rufus must be implicated in that wreck, but how? You're right, we need to dig up more dirt about our victim's past. And since Chakas told us she'd met Rufus while he was an eager Joey living in the outback, I suggest we start there.
Anyone in final jeopardy will not be caught. But one of the
So looks like I sped up the right one. I'll let the gun run its course.
Will literature be one of the categories today? Who knows? Catherine and Kyle, hopefully you will find categories you're liking also. Let's go to work in the shall we please? And good luck with these categories. Way back in 2012.
Okay.
Sounds like a long time ago. Hair-mageddon. Oh boy. The Simpsons supporting cast. Please. London Calling. And finally, a game of horse. Notice the separation on the letters. The first clue in that category.
Snake,
The
sunflower.
begin with the letter H, then O, R as we go down. Darren starts.
A game of horse, 200.
Asking for this vehicle that conveys the dead turns the category into a game of
Perfect.
Catherine.
What is a hearse?
Hearse. That's it.
Let's go to Simpsons Quarter Past for 200.
Herschel Krastovsky is the real name of this kids show host. Darren.
Who is Krusty the Clown?
Yes.
Horse, 400.
6-letter term describing the figure
Right.
seen here. Catherine.
What is an oblong?
That's right.
That's for 600, please.
Matthew, we came back here to see what we could dig up on Rufus's past, so let's take a look at what you found. That is one fancy costume trunk. I have no idea what you think you'll find in there, but it's worth a shot. What's that in your hands? The Quarry Times. Looks like an Aboriginal newspaper, and Warren's in that photo. The rest is too sun-bleached and faded to read. Dusting it might help recover some of the missing details.
Topic.
Yes.
Simpsons, 400.
Barney Gumble is one of the regulars at this bar. Darren.
What is Moe's?
Costume trunk, I'm examining everything now.
Whitman holds this important job in Springfield. Darren again.
What is police commissioner? What is police chief?
Chief. Yes.
Matthew, there was enough costuming in that trunk to dress the entire cast of Muriel's wedding.
Is the
But it looks like you found some kind of show photo in that trunk. You're right, on the bottom it's signed Cherry and Chakas. This trunk must be Chakas. I wonder who the other person in the photo is. Let's run it through the database and find out.
Kyle.
What is the Treehouse of Terror?
No. Darren.
What is the Treehouse of Horror?
That's it. Yes.
2012, 200.
This once and future president of Russia was elected to the job after 4 years as prime minister. Catherine.
Ah.
You got it.
Treat 400, please.
This internet giant's
Two.
IPO raised $16 billion in 1 day. Kyle. You got it.
There we are.
2012 for 50.
I still got 9 energy. Cool. Rufus Murloc.
As 8 competitors were
I can't believe it, Matthew. Cherry is actually Rufus. What the heck was Rufus doing dressing in drag with Chakas? I don't think anyone's ever heard about the conservative Rufus Murloc exploring his feminine side. It seems Chakas has a lot more to tell us. Let's go find out what this dynamic drag duo was all about.
way back in 2012.
Here we go.
States legalized recreational
About the drag photo of the victim.
Colorado and Washington.
You got them, and you're up to 6,000.
Hello again, Ranger Matthew. Can I help you? Chakas, can you explain the photo we found of you and Rufus in drag? Darl, you made me choke on my Shiraz. I thought you said Rufus had a staunch anti-drug campaign, but here he is all dolled up. What's the deal? When I first met Rufus, he was lost, working at that horrid petrol station, but I saw potential and fantastic cheekbones. I took him under my well-manicured wing, taught him everything I knew. We became Cherry and Chakas, drag duo extraordinaire. I still can't believe Rufus was a drag queen. Life is stranger than fiction, Darl. Rufus showed up here with nothing, no one. All he had was himself in a suitcase. But I made him a star. We were going to hit it big. It was going to be goodbye Vegemite, hello caviar. And then he moved, said he wanted to start a new life. He turned his back on me. After all I'd done for him, it was like a stab in the heart. That's one sad story, but if Ranger Matthew finds out you killed Rufus, it'll be goodbye freedom, hello jail for you. And let's examine the newspaper.
Before choosing someone to help with your Social Security disability case, ask if your case will be handled by an attorney. Ask if the attorney lives.
Sorry guys, my battery was low, but I charged it a bit. Matthew, the newspaper photo is of Warren shaking hands with someone, but it's hard to tell who it is. But the sign behind them says, Australia Casinos Inc. What would Warren, an Aboriginal lobbyist, want with a casino developer? Unfortunately, the article is written in some kind of Aboriginal dialect. You're right, Matthew. If anybody can translate this writing, it's DuPont.
2000.
Amendment establishes the principle of sovereign this, shielding states from
9 hours, and I will gather the remaining stars, so see you then.
immunity. Correct.
Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the newspaper article from DuPont. Hiya, Matthew. I'm delighted to be of service. I finally get a chance to brush up on my Pitjantjara. Your Pitjanta what? Pitjantjara, one of the aboriginal languages of the Uluru region. Also the language written on the newspaper you brought me. Traditionally spoken by the Pitjantjara people of Central Australia, the dialect is mutually intelligible with other varieties of the Western Desert language. Yeah, that's boring. Can you just tell us what the article says? We don't have much time here. Carmen, if you actually listened, you'd learn something. The newspaper article is an expose on your suspect, Warren Mundine. Apparently, he brokered a deal to sell his people's tribal land to a wealthy casino developer. What? Warren sold his people's land to build a casino? And it was outed in our victim's newspaper? That sounds like a motive, Matthew. Let's go talk with Warren. I'm betting he gives us a lot more than this time. Let's ask Warren. Warren, we found the piece Rufus's reporters did on you. You sold your tribe's land and he exposed your shady dealings. That entire article is rubbish, mate. A bunch of bold-faced lies is what it is. The deal I made with that casino developer was to spare the sacred lands of my tribe. In exchange, our tribe would help with the construction. But this article made me out to be a traitor. Said I'd sold out my culture for money. So you had an axe to grind with Rufus? Those lies destroyed my life. I was the face of my people, our cause, but they don't trust me anymore. Everything I worked for is gone. Being an Aboriginal leader is my whole life, mate. But now I pass my days eating Vegemite and drinking Shiraz. Well, mate, the rest of your days will be about prison if we find out you murdered Rufus Murlock. Kinda makes you wonder if that's a spin-off of Rupert Murdoch. Matthew, good job recovering the gun. It's a .32 Walther PPK, made famous by James Bond. Practically a collector's piece. Is it our murder weapon? Definitely. I compared the 2 bullets Angela retrieved from the victim with the ballistic fingerprint of this particular arm. It's a match. This gun is your murder weapon. If this gun's our murder weapon, how did it get out to that shipwreck? Most criminals dispose of their weapons in the nearest public location. Your killer went to the trouble of specifically placing it where you found it. That means your killer scuba dives. There are no deaths Matthew won't dive in order to bring our killer to justice. Matthew, this investigation has taken quite a turn. Who would have thought Rufus Murlock, the millionaire media mogul, started his days as a drag queen? And even more unexpected is to find the murder weapon at the site of a completely undocumented shipwreck. Just a minute. On the victim's property. None of this adds up. You're right, Matthew. Maybe by reviewing our notes you can start making sense of it all. We discovered Michelle had been snooping around that shipwreck. She said she was auditing the victim's property, but knowing her, she's got something else up her sleeve. Rufus defamed Warren, causing him to lose his livelihood, but would Warren have taken Rufus's life in return? And we can't forget Bryce LeBeau, who's most likely trying to sneak back onto the victim's property as we speak. Matthew, I got something huge to tell you. You know that shipwreck on Rufus's property? It's Sombra. That ship is Sombra? Wow. We better make the most of this when we get to chapter 3. See y'all then. Alright folks, we're back. We're starting chapter 3 of 6 Feet Down Under. Matthew, this investigation has taken a surprising turn. Who'd have thought Rufus Murlock, the millionaire media mogul, started his days as a drag queen? Even more unexpected is to find the murder weapon placed at the site of a completely undocumented shipwreck on the victim's property. None of this adds up. I agree, and that's why I decided to call on some help. I contacted X. How'd you manage to do that? We don't even know who X is. I threw out a line on the deep web. X responded. I wanted to know more about that shipwreck, and X seemed like they might help. And they did. That wrecked ship on Rufus's property? X says it's Sombra. That ship is Sombra? Matthew, we need to head back to that shipwreck ASAP. I'm going to do everything right now, then head out to bed. Because I know I was supposed to be in bed at least a couple hours ago. But I don't have anything tomorrow, so I'm okay. Although I am going to likely wake up late. Cell phone. A bag. There we are. Nice. Okay. What's a cell phone doing in the water, Matthew? This phone looks too new to have been lost in the wreck. Somebody's been down here recently. I really wish it would stop doing this. Let's unlock it to find out who. You think this yellow bag could be a clue? Knowing the ship is Sombra, anything's possible. Let's dust it to see what it gives us. I agree, it looks like someone piled up those planks against the ship. If you think something is stashed in there, we'd better dig through it. I've heard some people say that I might have a bad motor in my desktop. Oh. JBE. This phone is pretty waterlogged, so it's hard to make out a clear image, but that does look like Veronica on the home screen. What would Veronica be doing scuba diving on her boss's private coast? No time to guess, Matthew. Let's find Veronica and get the answer in person. About her cell phone? Veronica, how did your phone wind up on the bottom of the ocean on your boss's property? Rufus was hiding a secret in those waters, and I wanted to know what it was. I tried asking him about it one night over a glass of Shiraz, but he just clammed up. So you decided to dive in and inspect the shipwreck yourself? How was I going to assist Rufus in all his matters if I didn't know everything about him? Just recently, I'd found an old photo of him and someone named Chakas on a scuba diving trip in New Zealand. He ripped it from my hand and threw it away. I'm not just some young, aimless graduate who sponges off the system and eats Vegemite straight out of the jar with a spoon. I have goals. We hope your goals didn't include murdering Rufus, because the only place this will get you is behind bars. Thank God. Let's hope it'll stay this way. Let's examine the yellow bag. The French harpooner. Okay. Does the label on that yellow bag you found on the ocean floor read The French harpooner? I'd ask whose bag that is, but I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Bryce LeBeau. Bryce couldn't help himself. He just had to dive these waters. I agree, Matthew. Our harpooner has got some explaining to do. About his bag of tools. You just had to go back and dive the shipwreck, didn't you, LeBeau? I told you, Ranger Matthew, there was no way that man was going to keep me from that ship. I'm Bryce LeBeau, the famous international deep-sea treasure hunter. I do as I want. And did you find what you were looking for down there? I couldn't stay long enough. I have a, how do you say, hangover. Hangover? Too much Shiraz last night. That's definitely not French wine. You're all show, LeBeau, and you better hope Ranger Matthew doesn't discover you killed Rufus, or we'll be hunting you down for murder. Pile of planks. I'm gonna get the remaining stars tomorrow because it's getting really, really late. Dynamite, a bomb. Matthew, did you just find explosives in that pile of planks? Be careful with them. Phew! Whoever planted this didn't set a timer, but someone was definitely trying to blow up this somber shipwreck. If someone's trying to blow the shipwreck up, we're on the right track. Matthew, we've got to get this bomb to Jonah ASAP. "15 hours. Okay. And I will have all the stars collected by then, but for now, good night, everyone. See y'all then." Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the explosives. Don't worry, Matthew, there's no danger with the bomb. I've got it under control. But there were enough C4 rolls in it to blow that somber ship into a million pieces. So whoever put it there wanted to make sure they'd do the job completely. And they would have succeeded had they actually detonated it. My guess is whoever planted it ran out of time to finish the job. The question is, who planted it? I got that sorted out. C4 is a highly malleable material with a texture similar to modeling clay. It'll take the form of anything that touches it, including prints. As I deconstructed the bomb, I found a print. Elliot found out it belongs to your suspect, Michelle Zaria. Michelle planted that bomb? So she wasn't auditing Rufus's property after all. She was scuba diving for destruction, just like our killer. Matthew, I've had enough of Michelle's lies. Let's go make that lawyer talk. About her attempt to blow up the shipwreck. Michelle, the act is up. Start telling us the truth now. And what truth would that be, Ranger Matthew? We found the bomb you planted at the shipwreck. You can't deny it. Your fingerprints are all over it. That doesn't prove anything. The bomb didn't go off, did it? I don't get it. You worked for a somber agent, but then you planted a bomb on a somber ship. Are you working for them or against them? Ranger Matthew, I work for myself. I can't help it if I have connections on all sides. But why blow up the ship? Is there something on it you want to hide? I've already said enough, Ranger Matthew. If you want anything else out of me, you'll need to take me to court. Better yet, how about Ranger Matthew take you into custody for attempted arson? Matthew, the deeper we dig into Rufus's murder, the more complex this investigation becomes. Something big's going on, but... Matthew, quick, turn on the TV. Sources have confirmed that international law enforcement agency, the Bureau, is yet to find the killer of famed media mogul Rufus Murlock. Much to the public's dismay, the Bureau has shown no signs of providing any leads on the brutal murder of one of Australia's most beloved patriots. At this moment, there is no indication when or if the Bureau will catch their killer. This is Cooper Anderson with Wolf News. This cannot be. We've got a reputation to uphold. Countries to answer to. We've got... Relax, Ingrid. We're on it. Matthew, let's get back to the crime scene to see if there are any clues that can seal this deal. Okay. Let's see what clues we will find. Shell casings. Seven. Nice. Time is of the essence, Matthew. What do you have? Those shell casings are from a .32 gun. You just found the other half of the bullets that killed Rufus Murlock. It looks like there's some transparent substance on one of the casings. Let's take a sample and get it to Lars on the double. That Gala program is covered in blood. No doubt this is the victim's, but what's that powder? Let's collect a sample. Okay. Nice. Nice job, Matthew. Let's get the substance you collected from the shell casings to Lars ASAP. Well, actually, first of all, since we already had the 15-hour one, I'm pretty sure that both of these will be 9 hours. Got it. Matthew, good job collecting the powder from the Gala program. Now we get it to Lars for analysis. Yep, these are both 9 hours. All right. And I'll see you guys when both of these are done. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get... Oh, shoot. Okay, now it seems to be working. Matthew, that sample you pulled from the killer shell casings... Oh, shoot. That's what I'd like to hear. What'd you get from it? Made a mistake earlier. That sample you obtained was sweat, most likely from the killer's hand as they loaded the cartridge. I couldn't obtain a DNA profile, a complete DNA profile, but there's one thing I can be sure of. Your killer has brown hair. Matthew, we're one step closer to catching that brown-haired murderer. Okay. Sorry about the thing, folks. In fact, let me just take a look at what that's it. Matthew, that sample you pulled from the killer's shell casings was a big score. Okay, that's all I needed to see. Matthew, I'll cut to the chase. The powder sample you collected from the victim's program was pollen. Pollen? Like from a flower? Yep, and not just any flower, the Sturt Desert Rose to be exact. It's found in most mainland states of Australia and the Northern Territory. But there were no flowers matching that description at the crime scene. The only way that pollen got there was that the killer was wearing the flower. Matthew, when you're going to kill, be sure to wear a flower in your hair, just like our killer. Matthew, you got all the evidence to take down Rufus's killer. Let's go make this arrest. It's Veronica Salter. Veronica Salter, you're under arrest for the murder of Rufus Murlock. You shot him and then shot yourself in the arm? I'm sorry, Ranger Matthew, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't play coy with us. Did you think hiding the murder weapon at the bottom of the ocean would throw us off your scent? I don't have time for this. I've got to prepare Rufus's funeral arrangements. You almost got away with it too. It's unfortunate that you left behind some of your DNA on the shell casings. Murlock had many secrets. Some came back to haunt him, some that require me killing him. I don't understand. It all seems so extreme. Why would you murder your boss? What did he do to you? This isn't about me, it's about the preservation of order and establishment of leadership. The weak must die. Order? Leadership? The weak die? We should have known. You're Sombra. I am exactly what I need to be. Yellow eyes, just like Baxter. You're one of Sombra's next level recruits. I've been here for months waiting for Sombra to give me my command. I did exactly what I was ordered to do. But why does Sombra want Rufus dead? We know it's about the shipwreck. Tell us. It's about more than the wreck. You can't see the big picture. Big picture? What is Sombra planning? Ranger Matthew, the time for questions is over. You can arrest me now. Alright, if that's how you want to play it, you're under arrest for the murder of Rufus Murlock. Veronica Salter, you're charged with the murder of Rufus Murlock and conspiring with the terrorist organization. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Sombra isn't a terrorist organization. It's the New World Order, and that's not murder, it's just housekeeping. Housekeeping? If that's how you justify murder in this New World Order of yours, I don't want any part of that world. I hereby sentence you to 35 years in prison. You can stop me, but you won't stop the cause. Sombra will prevail. Matthew, we came to Australia looking for one of the Sombra test subjects, and we found her. We knew Sombra was sending their genetically enhanced results around the world, but I didn't expect them to use them as assassins. Who knows how many influential people are being followed by Sombra assassins? Clearly Rufus' death ties into all this, but why? And what's on that ship? Matthew, we still have a lot more answers to find. It's time to go deep. So it was Veronica Salter, Chaka's Deluxe, no brown hair. Warren Mundine doesn't scuba dive. Bryce LeBeau cleared from the start. Michelle Zaria, no flower. No Desert Rose. It was Veronica Salter. I'll see you guys for the next level 5-6. Alright folks, it's Matthew, we're back. Let's go to the next level 5-6. Matthew, I still don't understand why Sombra would send one of their assassins to kill Rufus. It must have something to do with the Sombra shipwreck on Rufus's property, but what? You're right, Matthew. Our only lead on that ship is Michelle. She planted that bomb there. We need to make her talk. If I can interrupt, Matthew, I believe there's another way. I think I could help you get through to Veronica. I believe finding information about her life pre-Sombra could be a way to break her allegiance and make her reveal her orders. Good idea, Matthew. We should look around Sydney Harbor. Veronica might have dropped something when she murdered Rufus. Great. We have a battle plan. Matthew, I'll prep for Michelle's interrogation in case you want to check out the harbor first. Oh, let's investigate the Opera House. Why not? Since I'm under a happy hour, but not for much longer. Oh, and I think I see it. So if I do collection mode, I will probably do that off camera, even though I probably may not plan to. Beads. Tell me you found something, Matthew. If we're going to get through to Veronica, we need a lead. Do you think those beads might be it? Alright, let's put them back together. Okay. And, in fact, first of all, I think I'm going to make a pet change. And equip the Dalmatian. Since I am no longer needed on this, let's examine the beads. I already have all the stars, so I don't need to worry. Nice. What a find, Matthew. Those beads are part of a rosary, and Veronica's name is on the back of the crucifix. There's the name of an orphanage as well, St. Matthew's. It makes sense. Sombra only recruits orphans. Matthew, let's send this rosary back to Elliot and see what he can tell us. Nine hours. And let's interrogate Michelle Zaria. Ranger Matthew's out of patience, Michelle. Tell us why you planted that bomb at the shipwreck. We know the ship's Sombra, so why would you blow it up? Are you working for them or against them? Tell us. I have no intention of telling you anything, Ranger Matthew. Just rest assured, whatever's down there is still safe. You'll talk. They all do after some time in a cell. Actually, since you have no real charges, you're legally obliged to let me go. Here's the money for my bail. Thanks for your hospitality, Ranger Matthew. I can't believe we had to let Michelle walk. And we still don't know why Sombra wanted to blow up that ship. You think Michelle might have made a mistake when she said whatever's down there is still safe? No way. You think she was talking about an actual safe? Well then, let's get back to that shipwreck and look for a safe. Alright, I gotta get this out. Oh, and I see the safe. Flashlight, sandal, lantern, fish, rusted safe, dolphin, ladder. Oh. Okay. You found it, Matthew. An old safe near the Sombra ship. Amazing, it's still intact. Let's crack the safe open and see what's worth blowing up.
If she couldn't return the match, be tasting it. You have got to be kidding me right now. I made the most perfectly flavored food. Girls will taste this. To the state. Alright, so let's pick out those dishes we're tasting. Turkey. To make a dish.
FNX. CMS and GEI. Matthew, you got the safe open, and Sombra's logo is on those documents. But the safe wasn't enough to keep these documents from the water. They're ruined. We need a miracle. Let's hope Lars can find something. 6 hours. See you guys when these things are done. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the rosary. Next time you want me to look into someone's past, bring me more than a crucifix, Matthew. Come on, Elliot, what did you find? Well, I got a hit on a St. Matthew's orphanage just west of Bratislava. A young girl matching Veronica's description was in their records. High IQ, gifted in languages, and with a criminal record. Local police had her prints on file. Veronica Salter used to be called Catherine Voschka. So Sombra went as far as changing her name. Matthew, this could be a way of making Veronica open up for us. Open up to us. Let's ask Veronica about her past. Hello, Veronica. My name's Maria Romanova, and I work with Ranger Matthew. We're here to help you. You're wasting your time. I won't betray Sombra. Ranger Matthew found your rosary beads. You grew up in Slovakia as Catherine Voschka. Do you remember your old life? Sure. Studying the Bible all day, no talking, no music. The nuns would cane us across the backs of our legs. But when I ran away, Sombra made me strong, fearless, powerful. I don't have to be weak anymore. Sombra has been lying to you. They use you to kill whoever gets in their way. Of course, I'm a perfect instrument. I never had to be Catherine Voschka again. This was fun, Ranger Matthew, but you look a little tired. Take this, you need it. That didn't go as I'd hoped. Matthew. Sombra has managed to craft the perfect assassins, unfailingly loyal, mentally and physically enhanced. Thanks to their next level, they now have an army of sleeper agents they can ship across the globe and eliminate anyone that stands in their way. I don't know what happens next, Matthew. Let's hope we find a way to stop Sombra's plans, and fast. Documents? Those faded Sombra documents are our only lead, Lars. Tell Matthew you found something. Well, the ink has decayed, Matthew. I couldn't recover the text. So I played a hunch and exposed the pages to cyanoacrylate fuming. Great. What's that? It's fumes from a glue stick. On fingerprints. I thought if we couldn't retrieve the text, we could at least know who touched this. But the real shocker was the fingerprints I found. Rufus Murlock's. Rufus touched those Sombra documents 30 years ago? That means he was on the ship before it was wrecked. That means Rufus was a Sombra agent. That explains why he wanted the shipwreck kept a secret. But then why would Sombra want him killed? Matthew, once again, we're left with more questions. Let's hope we find a new lead soon. Matthew, we know Rufus Murloc must have been aboard that Sombra ship, handling Sombra files before it sank. But digging up Veronica's past wasn't enough to make her tell us their motives. So Rufus must have been Sombra, but his killer, Veronica Salter, was an elite Sombra assassin. We don't know why Sombra wanted him killed, but it must be connected to his past, which means Rufus's past is our lead. Sombra's reasons for wanting him dead must be linked to what he did after that ship sunk. And what he did was join the drag community, so that's why he did it. He was hiding from Sombra. That means the key to Rufus's past is Chakas. Let's go make that songbird sing. Let's question her about Rufus's past. Chakas, we've uncovered information about Rufus Murloc that implicates him in a vast criminal network. Didn't I tell you Rufus couldn't be trusted? Lower than a toad's bunghole he was. We need to know anything Rufus might have told you when he came to the Outback 30 years ago. I do remember one night, after a jug or two of mango daiquiris, he told me he buried a valuable briefcase in the desert. After Rufus kicked the bucket, I went out and dug it up. All I found were some phony passports, so I just left it there. Chakas, it's of crucial importance that Ranger Matthew inspects this briefcase. I can drive you right to the spot. It'll be like Thelma and Louise. Quick, put this on. Okay. This must be the briefcase Rufus buried 30 years ago. Matthew, let's dig in. Easy as pie. That map you found in the briefcase is interesting, Matthew. It's a map of the Indian Ocean, but I can't see any distinguishing details. I can tell we're close, Matthew. Let's see what we can uncover on this map. Let's see. Examine the old map. There we are. Matthew, this map is definitely Sombra. There are logos on it. But what about that cross in the middle of the ocean? They wrote the next level next to it. That cross must mark the location of an island. Could this be where they've been overseeing the next level program? We need to get this back to the Bureau. The chief is going to want to see this map. This is some of your finest work, Matthew. With this map, you've located a major Sombra base. But if Rufus handled the map, it means Sombra has been working on the next level for over 30 years. God knows how many assassins they've trained in that time. We may not be able to catch them at all, Matthew, but putting a stop to Sombra's activities is our top priority. We better keep our wits about us. We don't know what we're going to find on Sombra's mysterious island. But one thing's for sure, we're going to put an end to what they're doing once and for all. Okay, let's see. Well, we gotta go to that map, but it's not out yet. It will be out in 5 days, and I'll see you guys when that happens. So for now, this is Matthew. But first of all, let's, yeah, 4 sticker packs. Although I really would like them to include the burgers. Alright, and that will do. And let's see. First of all, case 2, case 4, case 5, 13 and 14. Ooh, only 3 more, and I get this. And this Obasan in case 30. Alright, and I will see you guys when case 36 is open in 5 days. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. And I may do a case in Elite Mode again, but we'll see what happens. Actually, I'm going to have to, because my videos for case 33 got lost, so I have to redo that again. So I'll see you guys later.